After Monday's Facebook outage, businesses that use the site primarily are still recovering. I'm Bronte Sorosky with how this affected some stores locally.
Plus, we'll hear from the Crawford County Sheriff's Office about an increase in police pursuits. And a 2-year-old from Southwest Missouri is hospitalized after accidentally shooting himself.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Yesterday, social media sites Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down for several hours. Different story today. This is KOAM News at 10. Now they're back up and running. KOAM's Bronte Sorosky tells us that businesses that rely heavily on social media for advertising and for selling their products are still being affected.
It was just kind of shocking and a little bit stressful because we didn't have a way to communicate with our customers.
That was business owner Mariah Smith's initial reaction to noticing Facebook was down on Monday. That, along with Instagram and WhatsApp, were down for several hours. Smith wasn't the only business owner affected by the outage. The t-shirt shop in Lamar, which also uses Facebook as a major way to advertise, says they felt a similar strain.
We schedule all of our posts daily, and we also have advertising that we're paying for. And so, you know, when you're fully invested like that, you expect things to work. So, absolutely frustrated.
Lori Brunneman, the owner, says just the few hours that Facebook was down affected her store.
90% of our sales are online. And so on a day like that, we probably lost, I would say, 40 to 50% of our web clicks.
And she says they're only just starting to feel the effects.
Probably going to see more of a fallout later in the week as we go. Our conversions and things are down from last week. We're down by like 24,000 views.
But for a business that operates completely through Facebook, the website being down had larger effects.
We are strictly an online boutique. We rely solely on Facebook.
Smith, who co-owns the Wild Rose Boutique, says she saw her sales affected.
We do live sales on Facebook and we post products daily. So during the Facebook outage, we weren't able to do either of those things.
Both businesses say they're just trying to recover from sales lost during the outage. In Lamar, Bronte Sorosky, KOAM News.
Facebook released a statement saying that the outage was due to a disruption of network traffic that brought their services to a halt. That brings us to tonight's KOAM News Now Instant Poll question. We're asking, how much did that Facebook outage affect you? Choices are a little, a lot, or not at all. You can participate in the poll over at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we'll check in on the numbers here in a bit. A former Facebook employee turned whistleblower testified before Congress today about how she believes the social media platform harms young people. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
They're paying for their profits right now with our safety.
Frances Haugen testified before a Senate subcommittee Tuesday about the need for greater oversight and transparency of Facebook.
The choices being made inside of Facebook are disastrous for our children, for our public safety.
The whistleblower worked as a product manager on Facebook's civic integrity team but left the company earlier this year.
Regularly, integrity actions, projects that were hard fought by the teams trying to keep us safe, are undone by new growth projects.
Haugen told lawmakers Facebook and Instagram use algorithms to target teens, exposing them to dangerous content that could make them develop eating disorders.
Facebook understands that if they want to continue to grow, they have to find new users. And the way they'll do that is by making sure that children establish habits before they have good self-regulation.
By hooking kids.
By hooking kids.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are united in condemning Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and vowed to enact reforms.
Here's my message for Mark Zuckerberg. Your time of invading our privacy, promoting toxic content, and preying on children and teens is over.
Facebook pushed back against Haugen's testimony in a statement, saying they don't agree with her characterization of the many issues she testified about.
If Facebook wants to discuss their targeting of children, I am extending to you an invitation to step forward, be sworn in, and testify.
The company says it agrees it's time to create standard rules for the internet and has called on Congress to act. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Haugen has also filed complaints with federal authorities alleging that Facebook's own research shows that it amplifies hate, misinformation, and political unrest, but the company hides what it knows. Doug Caddy joining us now. First look at the forecast. Good fall nights ahead of us.
Yeah, it feels pretty good outside, almost a little crisp late at night into the morning hours. Temperatures have been really good over the past couple days. Made it up to 78 today. Normal high is 75 degrees. Started out at 49 during the morning hours, so chilly across the region. We had a few clouds and a few random little spotty showers earlier this evening. These are gone. We're going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours tonight, but we do have that weak little system off to our east that's going to give us a few spotty showers again tomorrow. Temps right now mainly into the low to mid 60s. I think we'll drop back into the upper 50s later on tonight. Clouds are going to thicken up a bit late tonight, dropping back to 58, 65 by 10, 69 by noon, high temp of 73, but we are going to get some random showers in here as we go into the afternoon hours. We're going to look at that and also some changes down the road here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. A recent increase in police pursuits in Crawford County, Kansas is raising concerns with the sheriff's office. In September, there were 3 pursuits and all 3 involved stolen vehicles. One of the pursuits ended in Crawford County after reaching speeds of nearly 100 miles an hour. Those pursuits are raising serious safety concerns from the sheriff's office as it tries to protect the public and its deputies.
If these people would just stop, if they're going to get arrested on their warrant, take care of it like anybody else does. It's not worth any injury or death for these individuals.
Sheriff Smith adds that since so many of the vehicle pursuits involve stolen vehicles, you can help prevent some of them by ensuring your car is locked up and you don't leave those keys in your car. Duquesne, Missouri police say a 2-year-old is recovering after accidentally shooting himself. Police say the boy's father left his gun in a work van that he thought was locked. The child found the weapon and shot himself in the shoulder. Duquesne's police chief says it's always hard to handle those calls involving children, and he'd like the chance to reconnect if possible.
Would love to, keep in touch with him and see how he's doing. And, Dad at the scene too, said that he'd always loved officers, and obviously at the hospital the kid was a little out of it with the medicine and stuff they had given him, but don't want him to not want that, and definitely want to be able to do something for him and the family as they get back.
Now the child is expected to be fine. He's going to have surgery on that shoulder. Police say they don't yet know whether charges are going to be filed against the father. Pittsburgh State students today held a rally to raise awareness of sexual assault. The National Against Our Will rally took place in the University Oval. Organizers say the goal was to not only raise awareness, but also to give survivors a place to share their story and access to resources.
I do think it needs to be talked about more, but I do think that we do a good amount. We do have reporting online anonymously for those who don't feel comfortable. So I do think we do a good amount that PSU does a good amount for us. But like I said, there's always more that can be done.
The Pitt State campus police chief says there were 2 sexual assaults reported on campus last year and none so far this year. 2 men accused of kidnapping a Dallas County, Missouri woman appear in court for the first time. Reporter Bailey Stroll has that story.
Mr. Norton, are you able to hear us?
Criminal hearings in Dallas County today bring new video of James Phelps and Timothy Norton from jail. More than 2 weeks since the 2 were arrested, accused of kidnapping Cassidy Rainwater. Judge Lisa Henderson spoke with each of their public defenders this afternoon, with all agreeing to meet here again next month.
Mr. Norton, we're setting your case for preliminary hearing on November 5th, and that will be at 9:30 a.m. We'll see you here in the courtroom on that date. That's all I have for you today, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Charging documents say Phelps and Norton were holding Cassidy Rainwater against her will at a property on Moon Valley Road near Wendyville. With no word on Cassidy's whereabouts, rumors coming from the tight-knit community are now spreading across county lines.
I feel like they're kind of taking the story and running with it and maybe making it hyped up to more than what it really is. But I also feel like if law enforcement and others would give us more information, then maybe they wouldn't have to resort to that kind of filling in.
Savannah Williams lives in Urbana. She says she moved to Dallas County to get away from violence in Kansas City.
Everything was quiet, and I thought moving to the country was going to be the best fit. Now, I don't want to go back to the city, but I feel like I might have made a bad choice.
Williams says a lack of information coming from authorities still investigating leads an entire community to speculate.
And then all of a sudden, I'm hearing about a guy who's got women locked up and possible torture, and I don't understand what makes people get like that.
You can read more about this investigation on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Still ahead, Kansas Governor Lori Kelly taking executive action to look into complaints against the state's foster care system. And President Biden continuing to push his infrastructure plans, but his Build Back Better agenda remains stalled in Congress. The latest next. In August, Missouri's Attorney General Eric Schmidt announced a major opioid settlement. Multiple distributors of opioids, including Johnson & Johnson, reached the settlement that brought in as much as $500 million to Missouri. We spoke to Schmidt today to learn how this settlement is going to affect Southwest Missouri in particular. He says the money will directly fund treatment and education programs to help those struggling with opioid addiction.
This is a very victim-centric settlement so that treatment centers, counselors, other folks who work with people who are addicted to opioids can access resources through the state as those settlement dollars come in to be able to provide services for people. And we've dubbed this fighting addiction and saving lives. And that's really what this is about.
Schmidt's office says this is the largest victim-centric settlement in the history of Missouri. While President Biden was hitting the road to promote his domestic policy agenda, Congress once again failed to take action on the debt ceiling, moving the country another step closer to a possible default. Natalie Brand reports now from Washington.
Republicans and Democrats are bracing for another showdown over the nation's debt ceiling.
I implore them one more time not to play Russian roulette with the American economy.
The clock is ticking for Congress to reach a deal on the debt limit as the Treasury Department warns it will run out of funding in less than 2 weeks, potentially leaving the country unable to pay its bills.
We could prevent a catastrophic default with a simple majority vote tomorrow. If Republicans would just get out of the damn way, we could get this all done.
On Wednesday, the Senate will take up a House-passed measure to suspend the debt ceiling through December of next year. Republicans have signaled they intend to block it.
They need to use reconciliation. Republicans are not going to be a part of their massive spending and tax spree.
While the spending standoff continues on Capitol Hill, President Biden traveled to Michigan Tuesday to promote his multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure and social policy proposals to the public.
The whole thing about this debt limit thing, there's nothing to do with money spent in the future. It's all money that's spent in the past.
Moderate Democrats like West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin have pushed back against the price tag of the White House's spending plans, but Manchin says the debt ceiling is non-negotiable.
Do what you have to do, but we cannot, and I want people to know, we will not let this country default.
Late Tuesday, the credit ratings agency Moody's expressed confidence that the debt ceiling will get raised on time. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers are said to be closer to an agreement on the larger spending bill. They're now discussing a range of around $2 trillion, down significantly from its original $3.5 trillion price tag. Later, 2 undefeated teams are set to square off on Friday in what could be the biggest regular season game of the year. Going to have a preview of the COC matchup between Carthage and Joplin coming up in sports.
Plus, we also have a few showers in the forecast for us tomorrow. We're going to look at that and the rest of the week coming up next. Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Tuesday for us today. Temperatures great, upper 70s to near 80. We have partly sunny skies across the region. A couple little sprinkles during the afternoon on the Missouri side, but besides that, all in all, not bad for us today. Great shot. This is a live shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, over the next few days, we actually do have some changes which are going to work in. A few pop-up showers once again for us tomorrow. A little bit more widespread than what we saw today. But temperature's great the next couple days until the heat. A little burst of summer makes it back by Friday. Doesn't last long because by Sunday, we get showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, maybe even severe. And with it, we'll get a cold front. Temperatures will cool back down just a little bit. Outside now, feels fantastic, almost a little crisp across the region. Low to mid 60s across the board, and we've had these kind of light northeasterly winds at about 5 to 10, and we're going to continue to see this through the night and into the daytime hours for us tomorrow as well. 7th and range line, no complaints. Partly cloudy skies, 64, northerly winds light at 3. Relative humidity, it's at 87%. We may get a little patchy fog out there as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But any random sprinkles we had earlier today, mainly across southwestern Missouri, these are all gone, so nothing going on. We're going to stay dry as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But let's drop south and east. You can see the rain. Look how it's advancing back toward the west, which we don't see very often here, but here's the reason why. Area of low pressure, northern parts of Mississippi, it rotates counterclockwise, so it pulls the rain back toward the west. So this is going to try to get a little bit closer to us by the time we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. Behind that, nothing going on out west. This system is going to lift up into Montana, so we'll get a nice little stretch of pretty much dry weather for the rest of the week. All right, let's go through time. Clouds kind of thicken up later on tonight. We'll have partly cloudy skies in the morning. Look at the showers, central Missouri. By afternoon, a few of these are going to rotate in, mainly on the Missouri side. They're going to be very hit and miss. I would say 60–70% of us end up staying dry. And the farther west you live, the better chances you will have of staying dry. 69 by noon, high temp right around 73. So with the clouds and random showers, a little bit cooler for us tomorrow compared to what we did see today. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, temperatures start to warm back up. We start to push 80 by the time we head into Thursday afternoon. A warm front lifts through Friday night or Thursday night, and we could see a random shower with that. But in general, we just really start to heat up. By Friday, I think most of us are going to push 90 degrees, which is crazy. Near 90 again by the time we head into Saturday, but a cold front is going to roll in on Sunday. It's still going to be warm on Sunday, but this is going to give us scattered showers and thunderstorms. And again, some of those could be on the strong side, and then we cool down a little bit Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, 73 tomorrow, 80 on Thursday, 88 Friday, near 90 on Saturday, 83 on Sunday, back into the 70s Monday and Tuesday.
As you said, crazy for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Doug, thanks so much, man. Coming up in sports, Carthage Tigers preparing to face Joplin in a battle of two undefeated teams. Plus, big news for the Chiefs offense ahead of Sunday's game against the Bills. Jacob Lennon has that and more next.
Well, the Carthage High School softball team is one of the hottest in the area right now. Carthage has won 6 in a row and 10 of their last 11. Now today the Tigers try to stay hot with the COC League matchup against Webb City. Jensen Elder good in the circle early for Carthage. A pair of strikeouts in the second. Game still scoreless. Bottom of the second, Tigers try to get on the board. All-State outfielder Emma Welch. Perfect throw to nail the runner at home. Game still 0-0. In the third, though, Landry Cochran delivers with runners on second and third. All the way to the fence here. Tigers go up 2 with that. They would add to their lead in the fifth with the bases loaded. Natalie Rodriguez puts it in the corner. 2 more score. Carthage gets the first 7 runs of the game. 6th inning, though. Webb City wakes up a little bit. Kaylin Gilbert at the dish finds the gap in right center. RBI double. Cardinals actually get 4 in the 6th, but Elder closes it out in the 7th. Her 14th strikeout ends the game. Carthage wins at 10-4. They've now won 11 of their last 12 games.
There's a lot of belief in these kids, and they come out every day. When we do have a practice, they've come out, and we've struggled hitting in the beginning, and now we've come out and focused really hard, and they've stuck with it, and they believed, and they've trusted the process, and you know, it's starting to pay off now in the end. We intentionally put 3 tournaments in a row in the very beginning and got ourselves some good competition so that when we got to our conference play, that hopefully we would be playing our best.
Staying in the COC, the Joplin Eagles on the road against Neosho tonight, aiming for their 4th win in 5 games. Tonight they get it done 12-5. Joplin will return home for their final home game on Thursday against Waynesville. The Carthage Tigers play their biggest game of the year this Friday. Carthage hits the road to Joplin with first place in the COC on the line. Now, both teams are undefeated through the first 6 weeks of the season, and they're both really good all around. The Carthage defense against the Joplin offense will be a fun matchup to watch. The Tigers are only giving up 10 points per game through 6 weeks, while Joplin is posting 42 per week behind senior quarterback Always Right.
It starts with their quarterback, very dynamic player, 2-year starter. Does a great job extending plays, great job in the quarterback run game. He's got a strong arm, very accurate arm, and he's got some receivers to throw to. You have to somehow figure out a way to get to him and at least contain him in the pocket and not let him out, because that's where he hurts you a lot.
Now we're going to be talking about this game every night the rest of the week. We'll hear from Joplin right here tomorrow night. Finally, the Kansas City Chiefs have elevated wide receiver Josh Gordon off the practice squad to the active roster. So it's likely Gordon will make his Chiefs debut on Sunday night when the Chiefs host the Buffalo Bills. Kansas City signed him to the practice squad last week. And prior to that, he had been suspended since December 2019 for violations of the league's policies on substance abuse and performance-enhancing substances. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor some local veterans. The Morton brothers, Keith, Kenneth, and James, all served in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Their hometown, Commerce, Oklahoma, and we are proud to thank and salute the Morton brothers. They're tonight's four-state hero. Final look at tonight's KOAM News Now poll. We asked, how much did that Facebook outage affect you? 84% of you say, not at all. 14% of you say, it affected me a little. 2% of you say, what Facebook outage? Thanks to everyone for voting. This poll is now closed, by the way. I think, that outage, to some degree, affected all of us.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, we use it for work.
Yeah.
I was off. It was great.
Yeah, if it was a weekend for me, I never would have noticed.
Yeah.
Thanks for rubbing it in, Leonard.
Yeah.
Final check of the forecast, Doug.
Looks pretty good, actually. 73 for us tomorrow. We are going to get some random showers during the afternoon hours. And then look at the heat moving in. Near 90 by Friday and Saturday. Thunderstorm Sunday.
The always working Jacob Leonard joins us now with Final Sports Note.
We got a rematch of the AFC Championship game coming up on Sunday. Chiefs-Bills. The Chiefs are currently favored by 2.5.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. The
Go
Bills'
Chiefs.
defense is really good.
Go Chiefs. All right, thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Salon service